šeit pat nav visi ieradušies, un jau tagad ir diezgan pilns. Tad stāv jums priekšā Marku Devlinu no Oksfordas.
Welcome along everyone, thanks for coming down here today. My name's Mark Devlin, I'm a DJ first and foremost, radio and club DJ. I put a book out a couple of years ago, Tales from the Flip Side. It's a collection of stories picked up from my many years on the road as a DJ. My observation was that every other book that's been written about DJ culture and the DJ scene talks about the superstar DJ phenomenon. So it talks about guys like Fatboy Slim, Paul Oakenfold, Carl Cox, Pete Tong, Judge Jules, you know, these big names, Paul Van Dyke, Tiesto. And it creates the impression that anyone who's a DJ lives like these guys. You know, private jets everywhere, limos to collect you at the airport, girls reclining in the back in bikinis with champagne, private parties, mad drugs. You know, this is the impression that a lot of people have of what it is that DJs do, because you only ever read about the big dogs, the big players and what they do. And I thought it was time that somebody put a book out there that breaks down exactly what life is like for regular DJs. You know, 95% of the DJs out there working hard, trying to make a living, that are in this business for the right reasons because they love music, you know, and no other reason. So it's quite easy to write, really. I wrote the book on the laptop, on flights, in airport lounges, on trains, 20 minutes here, half an hour there, whenever I had a bit of free time. Wasn't really a problem putting the book together. The first chapter that you see is me talking about a nightmare New Year's Eve scenario. You know, I'm sure everyone that's DJ'd has had a nightmare situation, a night that you just want to forget, where everything goes wrong, where it's all bullshit. So then we go on to the chapter about my early years, which explains, you know, how I came from deep in the country, basically out in the country in England. You know, I don't come from London, I come from a small town near Oxford, and nobody's into hip-hop there. You know, people just listen to, in the 80s, people were listening to the Smiths and the Cure and the Cult, but nobody was listening to hip-hop. So I'm just explaining in that chapter how I came to be into this music. And, you know, there were no black people in Whitney, there were no Chinese people in Whitney, it's that kind of place. So the second chapter talks about that. One of my favourite chapters is, as I touched on earlier, the one about DJ requests, all the stupid shit that people say to you in clubs that just really wind you up and ruin your night. And you know, things just get to the point where you see some bastard walking up to the booth in the corner of your eye and you just think, oh, fuck off, you know, I don't want to speak to you, because you know they're going to say something stupid to you. You know, how many times when you've been DJing does somebody come up to you and just say something really stupid, like, can you play something we can dance to? You know, what are you supposed to say to that? Can you play something a bit funky? Something a bit funky, you know, how are you supposed to interpret that? Can you play something good? You know, me and my friends are leaving in 5 minutes, so we want to hear these 3 tunes next. You know, this one, and this one. And people expect you to play it right then. You know, can you play my tune? Yeah, okay, I'll play the tune. Half an hour later, you didn't play my tune. Yeah, I did. Oh, I was in the toilet, can you play it again? You know, so these are familiar situations. There's a lot of these situations in the book there. There's a chapter on haters. I mean, how many people have encountered haters already? You know, people that just get jealous of you because you're a DJ. I get that a lot from DJs where I'm the guest DJ in a club, I'm the guest DJ for the night, and I roll up to do my set, and the resident DJ is there, you know, the regular guy, and he's been doing his set for the last couple of hours, and he doesn't like the fact that there's a guest in his club, you know, he can't handle it. And so I've actually had resident DJs sabotage the equipment to cause me to fuck up. You know, they'll reassign the faders, reassign the crossfader without me knowing, so that when I go to bring in my first track, the fader is not assigned to that channel and there's silence and everyone turns around to see what's going on and you see the guy laughing because you've just fucked up, you know. And then, you know, they'll pull a lead out from the CD so that when you play your track, it's only coming through on one channel. People really do that. You know, hate is a powerful thing, and jealousy when you're a DJ is a powerful thing. The best way to deal with that is just to treat it as flattery, and you take the view that if somebody can be bothered to get upset with you, then you must be doing something right. You must be making an impact, otherwise they wouldn't bother. There's 3 chapters on life on the road, which is where I'm talking about stories from the various places I've visited, different countries. When I wrote the book, it was published in 2007. I hadn't actually been to Latvia then, so there's no stories from Latvia because I didn't come until after the book was written. So sadly, there's no Latvia stories in there. I had to self-publish it, sadly. I mean, everything in the music game is a challenge. Like Black Sheep, it's a great magazine, looks good. We get a lot of props and respect from the industry and from punters, from users, but we're not making any money from it. You know, one day hopefully we will, but at the moment we've got to work for free, and that's a pain, you know. We all got bills to pay, and working for free is not good, but it's something you have to do. So in the end, the only option that was open to me was self-publishing, which is where you basically pay to put your own book out. So that's what I had to do. I had to put my own money into it and pay the company Author House to produce the books. So it's about £2,500, you know, £2,500 at the outset. And then the idea is they print a quantity of books. You get a load to sell yourself, so you can sell to your associates, people you know, other DJs. And then the rest of it is done via their website, so it's for sale on Author House. It's also on Amazon, it's in a few retail stores, and it's on a few other websites as well. But I'm nowhere near making the money back. You know, this was a loser for me financially. It's something I really wanted to do, but you don't make money out of publishing books. My royalties for that, every time I sell a copy, this sells for £10 in the UK. My royalty is 88p, which is like less than 10%. It's 0.88 of a pound. So the royalties suck. And you often speak to artists and they say, you know, the deal they've got with labels sucks as well, because the amount they get when an album is sold is just peanuts. Same with books. But, you know, having said that, I'm happy that I did it, and I think it's quite timeless. The stories in there still make sense now, and it's still the only book that I've been able to find that talks about what DJing is really like, you know, for regular guys and girls, non-superstars. Keep checking Black Sheep, it's blacksheepmag.com, and the main website is markdevlin.co.uk, and that's pretty much it, so thanks a lot, thanks for coming down.